Hey, it's Aran here. I spent 3 days in Italy, in Milan, and I want to tell you a little bit about it. And if you're thinking of visiting here, give you some insights about what to expect and things along these lines. Hope you find it entertaining. And also, if you think of going to a soccer game, that's going to be some good insight. So I actually flew to Milan specifically to watch an important soccer game, or football game, I should say, between the two Milan teams. So there's AC Milan and Inter Milan in the European Champions League, and it was the semi-final, the second game. It was a big game. If you don't know much about soccer or football here, it is a huge deal in world football. So I came to this game. It was 75,000 people. The atmosphere was amazing. I arrived 3 hours early to the game, and there was already, I'd say, at least 10,000 people there already. 3 hours early before the game, there was chanting. Before the game, during the game, after the game, it was freaking mental. Now, a little bit about don't bring to a soccer game a power bank or a selfie stick, because you won't be able to bring it in. So I had to throw mine out, so that's unfortunate. And so that's one thing, I will mention that. Going early is definitely advised, and definitely do not drink too much liquid before, because you don't want to have to go to the bathroom while you're there, because trying to go to the bathroom there, it is a freaking nightmare. There's a boys' toilet and a girls' toilet. There was no differentiation. The guys would just go into the girls' toilet because there was just not enough toilets, and it was freaking ridiculous. So, little tip for you. Now, about Milano, one thing you should know about is it is very easy to commute, and you definitely want to use the public transport. So there's trams, there is also scooters, and there is bicycles, and that's the best way to get around. It's a lot cheaper than taxi. So every time I take a taxi, you're like, okay, it's 2 kilometers, 4 kilometers, it's gonna be close. 20, 30 euros later, because it's just, the traffic is just crazy. So everything is really, really close, but it's very condensed. So you definitely want to use public transport if you can, very cheap. I think I bought a ticket for $13 euros, and that's enough for 3 days, unlimited transportation anywhere. I could just get on a train, tram, buses, hop anywhere, basically. Then there is little apps where you can actually install them for the scooters. So the one I use is called Lime, which is very handy because you can get around the scooters or the bicycle. They're very easy to get around. I mean, I personally love that stuff. So it's really easy. But there is one thing that's annoying about it is there is different areas where it's a no park zone, and there's a fair amount of those. So what it means is that you might be going to your destination, but you're not allowed to park that particular the scooter, like the equipment. You can't actually leave it there because of the different regulations here. So you have to go to a parking zone. So then you might have to go 200, 300 meters away from where you were going. So if you're gonna have a destination you wanna go to, you wanna give yourself an extra 10, 20 minutes, just because, don't be on a crunch for time, basically. Because you might have a scenario where you literally can't park anywhere. And it's like parking a car, really. So it's a bit annoying, but anyway, that's just something that you gotta go with. But it's otherwise really convenient, really easy to get around, pretty reliable. They do drive like maniacs here, so don't rely on the fact that there's a green light or a red light. So you always want to look, because they do drive here. And like I've seen, sometimes cars would just go through a light and not really have any concerns about that. And it was only when there's an actual human that's like trying to pass by, then they would maybe stop. If, maybe. Like I've seen at least 2-3 instances like that. So you definitely want to be careful like that, and always don't have music when you're driving, when you're walking around the street. Like, it's really important to be aware of your surroundings and so on. The other thing that I was alerted to by 2 people specifically is the pickpocketing, I think it's called, where they steal stuff from you. So that's why you want to just not have any headphones on. You want to just pay attention to your surroundings and stuff like that. So anyway, that's some things I learned about Milan. I was in the inner city, and the food is amazing wherever you go. I went to Duomo, which is the big cathedral. Amazing. I've never even heard of it until the morning that I went there. So that was a really great place to go visit. I'm walking around a garden right now, which is a bit quieter, in an area that's called Navigli. I'm pronouncing it awful. I'll leave it on the screen somewhere so you can actually see it. And yeah, those are nice little areas that I've been to so far. And yeah, I mean, also there's so much places to go around. You just ask the locals, and you know, there's just a lot of places, honestly. And it's very, very nice wherever you go. Very like old city, basically. So very European. And yeah, it's really the first time for me to get around a city like this, to be honest. So I find it very unique, very cool, very eye-opening. And also because I've been in Dubai now for 6 months, then, you know, Dubai is like a synthetic city, you know what I mean? Everything is man-made type thing recently, and it's very commercialized. So this is like really like you got just the fact that you see right there, like all the graffiti. I mean, you're never gonna see that in Dubai. I don't think I've seen any graffiti in Dubai, as an example. So there's pros and cons to both places, obviously. I'll do a whole video about Dubai separately. But yeah, in terms of apps, you might want to know using Italy. So I was using Google Maps, which is a bit tricky because sometimes the spelling of the streets, I mean, it's just the way they say it, it's auto-generated, so the voices sound a bit weird. So you have to just, you know, kind of match up what Google Maps is telling you. That's what I was using, which is probably not the best. There's another app called Movie, I think it's called. And I will leave the links to all the apps that I used and that I was recommended to as well. So I was using primarily Lime for the scooters, but there's a bunch of other ones as well. So yeah, that's about it. Just wanted to share a little bit about Italy and Milano and my 3 days here. You know, I'm sure there's other vlogs that might have a lot more info. If there's anything that I've missed that I think will be valuable to share, I will be posting this video inside a blog post about my trip to Milano and share with you a little bit more. And also, I have a highlights on my Instagram where if you go to my stories, you'll be able to see the highlight of, you know, different things that I've been through in Italy. So you can kind of see a little bit more on my Instagram as well. So that's at Aran Bukai, and you'll see a bunch there. Just go to highlights, you'll see Italy or Milano, and then you'll see all the stuff that I've experienced while I'm here. And yeah, otherwise it's been a great trip, really enjoyed it. And thanks a lot for watching. If you want me to do another little video like this, I don't really do this travel vlogger, bloody blah. So anyway, if you like that, I'm happy to do more like this and wherever I'm going. Next up on my list is I'm going to Paris very soon. And last year I was in Thailand, which I've got nothing to tell you about Thailand really, I don't think. But I could do a little video about what I've experienced. I wasn't a big fan. And then Paris and in Bulgaria. That's the 2 next destinations. So anyway, there you go. Thanks. I have to record this because you just cannot take a photo because of this thing that's blocking. But I just wanted to record. This is just madness. Look at all these people. I think there's 80,000 people in the stadium, or about to enter.